what was the first song then that you got placed for with your new deal at EMI?
The first song that got placed was on a movie soundtrack called Steel. Shaquille O'Neal
Oh yeah, the
played.
yeah superhero was it?
So,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I actually have never seen the movie, but
Okay, yeah, yeah.
um, I wrote the song called "No More Fighting" with a lady named Antonina, and I forgot her last name. But the song was sang by Tevin Campbell. So as a songwriter, I wrote the song, but they called in another producer to produce the song. His name was John John. He was actually was my neighbor, but he was a little more ahead of me in the pecking order when it comes to producing. He had done things, already. And, I took it personally because, I did this song. I created this amazing track to it. The track was amazing. And although John John was my boy, the track that he came up with was nowhere near as good as mine. But the record label at the time, which was Quest Records, Quincy Jones' label,
Ah, yeah.
and the guy who ran it, who ran A&R, his name was Ian Alexander, who was married to Regina King,
Okay.
the actress.
Yeah.
Um, at the time, I was like, no, my stuff is much better and all this, but I'll take it, whatever, At least I get the publishing, whatever.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
my first place. And after that, I told my publisher, I said, man, I don't ever want to do that again. It didn't
Mm.
feel good to listen to my song and listen to it on the track. That they try to like remake my track, but they couldn't because they don't have DJ Quick
Yeah.
sounds. They don't have this. They don't have what I have. They don't have. They don't play like me. I'm
Yeah.
an actual musician. So he was like, okay, well then, we got some proving to do. So the next time I got a placement right after that, it was Shanice. It was a song called When I Close My Eyes.
Mm.
And on that one, I remained the producer on it, and I proved to them like, yeah, I should be producing this as well,
Yeah.
and it was a big hit, And so from that point, people started to trust me as a producer.
Yeah. What was it? Yeah, I've interviewed Shanice. What was it like working with her? Because I Love Your Smile was such a massive hit, but then, when she's older now, trying to help her recreate something.
Yeah,
Were you
it was great
starstruck?
for me.
Yeah.
But I was kind of starstruck, because of Shanice, and she's a little older than me, and she knew more, but she really was gracious and took direction. She listened to me, and which was I didn't expect. I thought she was gonna be like, "No, I'm not. I don't want to do that. Do that. I'm doing this. I'm doing that." Which she'd be within her right to do because she's Chinese.
Yeah.
But the record came out great, and it was a hit for her, and I'll never forget, the feeling.
Yeah.
At the time, I was 22 years old.
Wow.
And the feeling of driving down the street and hearing my song on the radio, like every day, they played it every day, like three, four, 5 times a day. I'll never forget those moments. It's weird because I listen to the radio every day and I turn on the radio and I'll hear one of my songs. And I'm proud of it, but it's not the same. You'll never be able to get that back.
Yeah.
That initial high of like your first times hearing yourself on the radio because you work so much up to that point. When you finally
Mm.
get there and I hear it on the radio, oh my God. And there's so many firsts. It's the radio, and then it's the album sales, and then it's the first big royalty check you get, or the first time your song wins an award or something like that. Just all these firsts that you never get back. I tell people all the time, I didn't do much celebrating back then because I was like, I just need to get to the next song. Let's keep going. But I tell people now, like, take time to celebrate a little bit. Don't do too much, but celebrate
Yeah.
a little bit, your wins a little bit. So you don't forget. I did so many records that won awards and some stuff and that did well. Some stuff I forgot
Wow.
because I did it and the next day I was on to something else. And the next day I was on to something else. And the next day so I done did 5 records like 2 months later that I forgot about, you know.
At that young age when you've started, now you've left quick and now you've sort of left hip hop and you're going into the world of R&B. Who were the producers that you were seeing and thinking, okay, not competition, but like, man, I need to, these are the guys who are really dominating the charts as producers.
It was competition. Getting in it was so hard because thinking about this, you're 20 years old and the guys dominating the radio are Jam and Lewis,
Yeah, yeah,
Babyface in LA and Teddy
yeah.
Riley,
Teddy's my
Dallas
favorite.
Austin.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They are this other group, guys called the Characters, Troy Taylor and those
Yeah, the
guys. They are
characters.
dominating everything. Like you can't, you know what I'm saying? Brian Alexander
Yeah, yeah,
is
yeah.
killing the SWV stuff. You can't.
Dark
And
Child.
then, yeah, well, even before that, you had Puffy, doing the Mary J's My Life album.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, man. Then here comes the Faith album. Bad Boy is killing it. And so when I'm getting in, the only couple guys that really I looked at as competition, not necessarily, but they were my age, was Rodney Jerkins and his crew. Then you had Brian Michael Cox.
Oh, okay, yeah, from
And then
so dead
and then
Jermaine, yeah.
yeah, those guys, Jazzy Faye, the whole Atlanta crew out there that was like,
Yeah.
doing it. And then you had guys that were a little older than me, but they were killing. That was Tim and Bob.
Oh yeah, I've interviewed Bob. Yeah, I love Bob. Yeah.
Yeah, Tim and Bob were killing the game at the time. And then there was a bunch of guys in LA that were doing things, R&B stuff that you looked at and go, man, they're doing a lot, John B
Okay.
at the time, and the guy John I told you about. That you had the Underdogs, Damon
Okay.
Thomas, Harvey Mason, and those guys.
Wow.
There's a lot of cats out here that were really, killing the game. And so I had to figure out what my thing was. I shortly realized that I had something different than they did because I'm coming from gangster rap and the hard, edgy. So what I did was and plus I was a musician. I could play every instrument. So I'm like, I'm gonna take all this pretty stuff, put it over these hard gangster rhythms, but and slow it down. So even my ballads feel like, oh, it's like, like they ain't gonna be able to touch this. And I found my niche in that, and I think it really worked for me.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of Halftime Chat. Please remember to subscribe, share, and comment. But most importantly, why don't you become a member of Halftime Chat? We've got amazing videos, amazing perks, and being able to support the channel. But anyway, thanks for watching. Take care.
I never participated in that category.
And somewhere in between
us for even loving us, on which I did miss you really.
What was it like growing up?
She's still making an impact on 4 houses down.
I have a couple of pieces.
Trying to get this one and that one.
That works for you, but just for me,
No. Okay.
They don't understand what Jonas' voice meant in all spirits.
Play it.
and all these guys, they all work together.
I mean, I love all different